Imagine you're a developer and you've got this brilliant new idea. Now, what if getting that idea from your laptop into the cloud, we're talking securely, reliably, and ready for users, was as easy as pushing a single button? Well, that's the whole promise of the internal developer platform. And today, we're going to dive in and see exactly how it all works. For years, probably forever, the path to getting something live looked like this, just an absolute storm of tickets, right? You needed a ticket for a server, another one for a database, one for network access, and oh yeah, don't forget the ticket for security permissions. It was just slow, so frustrating, and full of friction. The new way, well, a developer just says what they need with one command, and this automated platform handles everything else. We're literally talking about a shift from weeks, maybe months of waiting to just minutes of automation. So what is this magic platform? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a vending machine. Your operations and platform teams, they stock this machine with all the pre-approved, secure, and compliant cloud resources. Think of those as the snacks. Then, a developer can just walk up, press a button for what they need, and bam, they get it instantly. And they don't need to know a thing about how the machine itself is built. It's all self-service, on-demand infrastructure. Okay, let's make this real. Our story kicks off with a developer. Now, they don't say, I need an EC2 instance of this size in this specific subnet with these security group rules. No. They just state their intent directly to the platform. Something simple like, I need a standard web API with a Postgres database. And that simple request, that is the trigger for everything that's about to happen. So before a single line of the developer's code even gets looked at, the platform's first job is to build a super secure and isolated home for this new application. You can think of it like laying the foundation and framing a house before anyone even thinks about moving in. This isn't just some empty server. It's a complete, purpose-built environment. And the crazy part is, it all happens in seconds. The very first brick in this foundation is a brand new, completely separate AWS account. Now, the impact of this is huge. By creating a fresh account for every single service, it means if something goes wrong, it's totally contained. That's what we call the zero blast radius concept. And as a really nice bonus, you get crystal clear cost tracking for each application right out of the box. No more guessing. Okay, next up, inside that new account, the platform deploys a pre-configured network baseline. This is a secure virtual private cloud, a VPC, that has all the complex networking rules for subnets, for routing, for internet gateways, already figured out by your network experts. And here's the crucial part. The developer doesn't need to be a network engineer to get a best practice super secure network. It just happens. And the third pillar of our foundation is all about identity. The platform automatically assigns these pre-approved IAM roles and permissions. This is security by default, right? It enforces something called the principle of least privilege. So the application gets exactly the permissions it needs to talk to its database or other services and absolutely nothing more. So let's just recap that sequence real quick. Within seconds, literally seconds of the developer's request, the platform automatically provisions a new AWS account, it deploys a secure network inside of it, and it assigns the correct minimal permissions. The sandbox is officially built. So now, it's time to actually put some code in it. All right, so with our secure foundation totally in place, the focus now shifts to the developer's actual application code. The platform provides what's known as a golden path, which is just a great name for it. It's like a paved, well-lit road that takes code from a developer's machine and gets it running in the cloud safely and efficiently. In that path, it's a classic CI/CD pipeline. The moment a developer commits their code, this whole automated assembly line just kicks off. It builds the code, it runs a bunch of tests, it packages everything up into a container, and then it deploys it right into that environment we just created. This is the real engine of the developer platform. But you might be asking, how does the pipeline know how to deploy it? Well, that's where golden templates come in. These are basically reusable, expert-vetted blueprints written in code using tools like CloudFormation or Terraform. So you'll have a template for a standard web API, another for a data processing job, and so on. They define the exact infrastructure needed to run that type of application reliably and securely. Okay, so the code is deployed, it used a golden template, it's on our secure foundation, we're live. But that immediately brings up the next logical question, doesn't it? How do we know if it's healthy? How can we actually see what's going on inside the application? And this is the final, really critical piece of the whole puzzle. A true developer platform doesn't just, throw your code over the wall and hope for the best. It instruments it from the very start, providing what we call observability by default. It makes the inner workings of your application totally transparent from the moment it starts running. So, what does this actually mean for our developer? Well, it means they get an instant dashboard, and it's pre-populated with everything they need to understand their app's health. We're talking centralized logs, key performance metrics, distributed traces to follow requests, pre-configured alarms for common problems, and dashboards to visualize the whole thing. And the best part? Zero manual setup required. It's just there. So, let's put all the components together in a quick cheat sheet. We started with those foundational pillars, right? The account structure for isolation, the network baseline for connectivity, and IAM for access. Then, on top of that, we layered the automation engine, the CI/CD pipeline that uses those golden templates. And finally, we wrapped it all in observability for that default visibility. See how each piece builds on the last to create one complete automated system? Now, building all of this technology is one thing, but to really, truly succeed, it requires a pretty fundamental shift in mindset. This isn't just about automation. It's about changing how your infrastructure teams and your development teams actually work together. And this right here is probably the single most important takeaway. The goal of a platform team is not to close tickets faster. Their goal is to build a product, the developer platform itself, that is so good, so intuitive, and so reliable that developers actually choose to use it. They become product managers, and their customers are their own internal developers. So we'll end with this thought. By building these automated self-service platforms, we're not just making things faster, we're reducing the cognitive load on our developers and just removing all that friction that stands between a great idea and a real-world application. So ask yourself, what could your team build if their next big innovation was just one command away?